I'm so happy that Kate approached me, Kate and Susan, to do this. We need to do more of this. We really need to reach out to people that need help to make sure that everybody that wants to vote first is registered. And then, once you're registered to vote, we want to make sure that you know when elections are and how the different ways you can vote, because there's more than one way. So whichever works best for you, we want to make sure you know about. So, of course, we want to talk about voter accessibility, and I've never done a talk that just targets voter accessibility, so this was really good, and it was really good for me because it made me look a little deeper and see what we're doing and maybe how we can improve what we're doing. And we always want suggestions from the community. If there's a way we can do something better, or if you see a problem somewhere, let us know. We really want to make it better, and I can tell you, I started working in elections back in 1986, and things have really come a long way. They've come a long way since 1986. You know, we've got some old ballot boxes around the office, and some of you may remember voting on a paper ballot and putting it into a box when you voted, and then the election officials would go in a back room and count the ballots and announce the votes. And voters with disabilities back then, especially those that couldn't see, were totally dependent on someone else to mark their ballot for them. So with the paper ballots, you had to, and I know way back when voters with disabilities weren't even allowed to vote, if you can imagine. So you can see how far I started researching for this talk, that at one time that was the case, which is, you know, hard to imagine. So we've come a long way, but you know, when you were registered to vote, first of all, that may have been a process in and of itself, because even when I started working in this field back in '86, you had to come down to the courthouse to register to vote, and we were open from 8 to 5. So you had to, if you couldn't drive or needed assistance, you had to find someone or a bus or call a taxi. You had to find a way to our office. There were a few other places where you could register. The library was really the best alternate site other than our office. You could register to vote at libraries. Every now and then a group might have a voter registration drive. But it was not so easy to get registered to vote. You had to show proof of who you were in residency when you did show up. So if you finally made it to the courthouse, then you had to show proof of who you were. And sometimes that wasn't easy. And you may have to go back home to get some more documentation. Of course, there are other periods in our history when you even had to take a literacy test. So, you know, we've come a long way. I'll keep saying we've come a long way, but we really have. You can download the form off the internet, so you can be at home and take care of it there at home, print it out, sign it, mail it. We can mail the form to you, but most people register to vote when they get their driver's licenses. That's where the majority of voters end up registering to vote. But for those that it's a little more difficult to do the voter registration, you can receive assistance. Anybody can come into our office, and we love to give them out. They can come and get as many voter registration cards as they want, and you can go door to door if you want to get people registered to vote. If someone can't write or fill out the form, someone can assist them, and the only requirement is whoever assisted the voter needs to sign next to the voter's signature or mark they assisted. So that roadblock for registration has been removed.